Hey, this is Max. Welcome back to another CSR2 video. I am here playing the Showdown for this season, the Beta Championship Showdown. I've decided to go with the Golden Star 911 RWB, which I have fully maxed, and this is number 4 on the list of fastest cars that are available in this Showdown. This Showdown is set up to cater to the people that actually acquired the Purple Star Milestone car from last season and who has fully maxed it, and that's it. So everybody else is basically going to be lined up pretty evenly after that, unless you're facing the exact same car in the top 4 ranking, meaning Purple Star Zerouno to Purple Star, I think it's called, it's not Zerouno, it's Zone, whatever, the Italiadesign. So either you got the Purple Star versus Purple Star, or the Gold Star versus Gold Star, or you have the Purple Star Porsche RWB, or you have the Gold Star Porsche RWB. These are the cars you're going to be actually having a competition if they are the same car and you face them and they're fully maxed. Anything outside of that, it's basically a hierarchy of who do you lose to. So it's not really competition. This is all participation rewards outside of the top car or 2. So for the rest of us, all this is grinding through and let the chips fall where they may based on how much upgrade and what car you have, and watch the top ranking guys keep moving up so you can kind of, get your piece of the pie and hopefully get to those rewards that you want. So this is purely a participation event as far as I'm concerned, even though I have a fully maxed Yellow Star RWB. Now, against another one of the identical car, it is, quote, competition. That I guess I could consider a race, but outside of that, it's really not a race. It's more or less just, I see the car, I will win. I see the car, I will lose, provided, of course, you're consistent. I mean, that's still the key with any showdown. You have to drive your car consistently. Now, Yellow Star RWB has some weaknesses. Yes, theoretically, it can run 7.69 something. But most of us with most of our devices, unless we're iOS with a good fast device, probably isn't going to hit that 7.6. We're going to end up with 7.7 something. If you get the launch just right, everything just perfect, maybe a low 7.7. Most of it is going to be 7.7 mid, and then you have these top 10 guy cars that's fully maxed, that's going to run 7.6 more easily, and therefore you have a chance of losing to them as well. So you have your hierarchy kind of laid out. It depends on the car, but again, if he botches it a little bit or his car's missing some fusions, I could still beat him. It's just not going to be easy. The main difficulty with this event, and the most obnoxious part of this event, if you're using the 911 RWB, is that it has a 0 RPM drop when you hit the perfect launch a little too perfectly. So you actually have to launch it either slightly early perfect or slightly late perfect, but not just perfect. Just perfect actually kills your run. And when you're using a launch button plus the needle drop because it's so far back here, that becomes a pretty difficult task. And the chance of you getting a 0 RPM drop like I just did is pretty good. And when you do get it, it botches the run. So the 0 RPM drop is an automatic 8-second run, which any other RWB that didn't do that will automatically beat you because they're going to run at least 7.7 something. So that is the price you pay, and you kind of lose consistency in the process. Now, I can always launch it just a little bit later and sacrifice a little bit of performance, because here's the issue. The closer it is you get to that needle drop without getting it, the better the car runs. The more you sacrifice away from it just to prevent the needle drop, the slower your runs. So you're going to run 7.77s versus a 7.71 or 7.70 something. And that does make a difference when you're running another one of the same car. But if you're running a car that's slower than you, yeah, of course, it doesn't matter. But even at 1,000 trophy, it's nothing but fully maxed RWBs. So that is going to be the most common car probably for most guys that actually has decent performance out of their RWB, or they have it fully maxed. They're all going to be piling in with that Gold Star car So expect anything past 600 trophies today will be full of these. And then as you get up higher into the 1100s or plus, probably going to start seeing more of the milestone cars. And that's just the way things break down until more and more players get into the event, and then the top players with the fastest cars keep moving forward until they get to like 1800 trophy, 1700 trophy. That frees up 1200, 1300 to the rest of us with RWBs, and then the 800s and lower potentially to those of you who are running much slower cars like the T4s, T3s, the Griffiths, for example. Those guys are basically all the way back down, and they're going to have to wait for these guys, these T5 Porsches, to move out of the way before they can climb up and collect those rewards. Participation rewards are always there. You can always do 500 losses and still get decent rewards. Or here and there, you're going to win some because the trophy balances it out against opponents, but you might be stuck in the 400s, 500s, 600s for days with the slower car versus with a faster car, of course. You're going to climb into the thousands a lot quicker. So again, the hierarchy here is pretty well laid out, designed into the Showdown by Natural Motion. So none of us are going to beat the milestone cars if they're set up right and they're driven right. And the rest of us are really just fighting each other depending on shift pattern and which car you have and how fully maxed it is. So am I upset? No, because actually I don't mind. This is actually quick RP no matter what compared generally to live racing, unless I'm on a wild card and I have another account I can destroy for points. This is pretty good. And usually when I'm on it, I'm on it. When I'm not on it, I'm not on it. Right now the game seems to be working smoothly, not too much lag. All these little factors come into play for me, and it does help me enjoy it while I can. Later on, if tomorrow for some reason I get a little more lag on the device or on this particular computer, I may not enjoy it as much because I'm going to hit a lot more 0 RPM drops. So it's a trade-off, but so far so good. I'm not complaining too much here, and I am enjoying the Showdown and trying to do what I can points-wise and trying to squeeze it out of in front of these guys just enough to win. And actually, as long as I run into another Yellow Star RWB, it is competition, so at least I'm enjoying that too. I am seeing a lot of Yellow Star fully maxed RWBs at this point, and that's fun. Those races are cool because if he beats me, I know he shifted better or he launched better. In this case, I beat him because he's missing fusions. It looks like that's not a fully maxed car, or it is a fully maxed car that's running a different grip level because maybe they don't want to have 0 RPM drop. They're sacrificing some performance for the sake of consistency. I don't know how that's going to play out in the long run, but it is certainly a strategy that also works. I'm running basically the 2.0 final drive, 0-100 tire, 5.5 nitrous, the right left tune, which unfortunately with this car means a dead perfect launch, instant needle drop, and instant loss. All right. Now, I'm getting to the point in this competition where I'm going to run into guys that may be able to hit that 7.69 with their cars, and I just hit a needle drop. And therefore, I lose that one, get bumped down a little. That's all right. So the difference between a needle drop and not a needle drop is literally a hair of timing. So as you can see, it can be very obnoxious if your timing is slightly off, instant loss, and you got to just take it home with you. Okay. All right. So back down to 1175. I'm going to try a few more runs. If I'm starting to kind of lose my groove here, nothing wrong with taking a break from this. But again, I'm going to try to push this as far as I can before I start to give up on it. But if I get back-to-back or triple, fourth, fifth needle drops in a row, then I'm going to have to start thinking I'm doing something wrong here. Okay, so this one was good. As long as I don't get needle drop, I feel like I'm okay. I should be able to do okay. It's when I get that needle drop that kind of eats at me slowly but surely, and it eats at your confidence in these kind of showdown races where every little bit counts. Okay, 732 is not a bad run. It's not great, but it's usually enough to get you forward a little bit. Okay, so we're at 1200. I think, again, shoot 29 races. Let's go ahead and do a few more, and then because I'm already at rank 1490, I'm going to start running into the Italiadesigns at this point, and I'm going to start losing pretty quickly at that point. So let's again take one more or two more runs, and then that'll be it for this showdown for today. And then I'll just kind of either I'm going to just start losing to keep myself competitive, or I'm just going to have to take a break and do something else. Okay, again, see what we can do here. Oh, needle drop, done. So it's almost better to run it, hit that button a little bit late than a little bit early like I did, because the early tweaks the needle when you hit the launch button, and it just happened to land on that needle drop. So that kind of killed that run. Let's go ahead and go to the next one. So bouncing up and down here may actually give me some more consistent opponents, which isn't totally a bad thing. But yeah, I can see this needle drop's going to start pissing me off eventually. Okay, here we go. Again, let's try again. Let's try not to get a needle drop, but we'll see. All right, that's a good launch, but now the question is, am I going to stay ahead of him or not? And that was a race. That's a nice tight race right there. I might still have lost though. It depends on how the computer read it. I got a win. That's good. When it's that close, even sometimes you're slightly ahead looking, you can still rack a loss because it's only a few thousandths difference between his run and mine. All right, so that was a good run. Again, little extra weight, just that hair weight extra, made it a perfectly good run, and just a hair early on that button or late on that button could totally kill the run. So it's kind of a tricky car to really use consistently over time. Okay, let's try again. All right, so this is a good launch, and again with a good launch I have a good chance and I am ahead, and the rest of it is pretty straightforward. The rest of it is, as long as you're using nitrous in third and not bouncing the needle, you're gonna do okay. Okay, so all right, so that's not too bad. 7.734. I wish I could do 7.71 something consistently at least. Then I know I'm going to be pretty solid on the competition. Now, as days go by, what you're going to see is you're going to see more people get frustrated enough to spend keys and resources to build that yellow star milestone car max just to come back and try to tackle this. So we're going to see more of those milestone cars. Day 1, you see a little less, but day 2 and day 3, that changes. And you'd be surprised to find that you actually end up facing much tougher opponents. Ooh, he beat me fair and square on that one. Drove better than I did, ran a lower time, and I took a loss on that one. Okay, that's a competition. That's a fair loss. You can't complain about that. Oh wait, I should have stayed and maybe looked at the name a little more. Okay, well, I actually use Showdown as quick runs because you can cycle through these really fast if you don't get the guy that sits at the line for 30 minutes. But in those cases, I just dump and restart. Okay, so I am going to do 1 or 2 last runs and then call it. All right, this one's a bad launch because it's late. So this is going to be a tricky one. Wow, I think I won. Okay, I got that one. I don't consider that a good run, but I did get it. Let me see how bad it was. 7.7. Wow, 8,000. So it's competition there. Identical tune. Notice the launch is identical almost as well. So the only thing is he was faster in the beginning, but probably he was faster all throughout here. But then maybe in one of the later shifts, he was just off by just a hair. Thousands. So we're talking about a few thousands here. Okay. I'm in the top 1,000. I'll stay here today, and then I'll eventually end up in like the top 6,000 by the end of the event. Okay, let's try some more here. But it's gonna be done soon, I think. I'm pushing my luck here. Okay, here we go. Okay, 5, 6. I'm winning on this one. That's good. That should have been a decent run. That's a decent run. The other guy had a decent run too, but I had a slightly more decent run than he did. 7.700. Wow, that's my best run so far, actually. That was a very decent run. I'm very happy with that run. I didn't remember what I did, so I'm not duplicating it anytime soon. Okay. You know what? You got to end it on a high note. Okay, so I'm going to end it on a high note. I am, 30,000 RP. I'm going to regret this, but I have to try for it. Watch me lose the next one. When you get greedy, you lose. That's how it works. But that's 30,000 extra bonus RP I could rack up right now versus 2 days from now. So, well, it doesn't make a difference. It's still 30,000 RP I'll have. I don't like it when it does this. Usually it means I'm going to get a tough opponent. You know what? That's a cue. If the arrow pops up, I'm out of here. Okay? Once it shifts lobbies, it's looking for opponents that actually got that many trophies. Look, I don't have that many guys above me with that many trophies. I had a feeling the bad news is coming, so I'm done. I'm going to go hide back in my garage. I'll go to live, run my car, get some RP. That 30,000 will have to wait a day or two for me, but it won't make that much of a difference anyway, so I'll be all right. Okay, so that is the 911 RWB in the current showdown. Again, this is probably the most common car you will see among those of us who played long enough to have it maxed. And in the top, you're going to see the guys with the milestone cars, the purple star, the yellow star, and they'll have to be maxed out as well. And then the rest of us who are newer, for example, my newbie account, the best car I have is the Project Black Infinity T4 and or the Griffiths, so I have to figure out which one's faster in the half mile and just use one of them and see how far I can get. Alright, well, thank you for joining me for this video. Good luck in this season's showdown. It should be interesting, and if I see you out there in the showdown on the track, let me know if I raced you, if I beat you or you beat me. No hard feelings either way. Again, RWB a little tough on the launch, but once you get it down, it shouldn't be too bad. If you liked the video, leave a like. If you like my channel and like to get notifications when I put up new videos, then please subscribe and hit that bell so you can get notifications. And as always, thank you for watching my videos. I'll catch you next time.